Hello friends, I am R Manjunath. Today we are here at Somanalli farm, Uttaralli Hobali, Bangalore South Taluk, Bangalore South District. So this farm belongs to Mr. K. V. Manjunath sir. So today we are here, I am going to demonstrate a process of composting. Friends, as we know, there are two types of composting. One is aerobic composting, which is raised bed method. Other one is anaerobic composting, which is pit based method. So generally people follow pit based method where they will go into anaerobic based decomposition of their biomass or a material. But here what we are doing is we are doing aerobic based decomposition. That's the reason what we have done. We have created a raised bed structure like this. You can see there is a raised bed. This bed width is approximately 2.5 feet to 3 feet. Height is approximately 1.5 feet. And the length can be anything. In this case, maybe about 45 to 50 feet. So we have made a raised bed like this yesterday. On this raised bed, we have piled up this biomass. If you look at the characteristics of the biomass, this has got dung manure, cow dung manure, sheep manure, and also these are all the residues prepared by shredder. We have a palm shredder. It will shred the coconut leaves, areca leaves, palms, etc. and some of the pangomia leaves. You can see here this litter material of a dry leaves. So all the things has been consolidated here and created a bed like this. Now once this bed is ready, we have to ensure two things. One is the moisture, second one is the aeration, third one is the inoculation of aerobic decomposing microbes. So what are the source of aerobic decomposing microbes? There are different ways of we can get these decomposing microbes. In the universities, in Bangalore, we have IIHR Esarghatta, University of Agriculture Science, Bangalore. They give us a ready-made culture that is called compost culture. That is nothing but a decomposing microbes synthesized in the laboratory and given to the farmers. So we can use those kind of decomposing microbes from the universities or the research center what we have in Bangalore. Or we can also use the commercially available product. There is a product called organic waste decomposer, OWDC. You would have heard about this product. You can use this OWDC also to do the aerobic decomposition of aerobic microbes. So it's a source of microbes. Another interesting source of microbes I'm going to show you today. What we have done, friends, on this bed, we have created a small pit. On this small pit, see, we have hidden, this is a fully digested compost or a manure, organic manure. It is scientifically prepared, processed by a source. So we brought this kind of fully digested, decomposed organic manure. This is already rich with decomposing microbes. So what we do, we just create a small pit and insert this fully digested manure, which is rich with decomposing microbes as well. Now these microbes now we have added, inoculated. Friends, on this about 40 feet length bed, there are two beds we have. On this bed, for every 2.5 feet, 3 feet distance, we have made pit like this and introduced these microbes in the form of a fully digested compost all along this. So that is how we have inoculated the aerobic decomposing microbes into our biomass. Next thing is, because we use aerobic method, we have to ensure that there is an aeration. The microbes needs oxygen and excess temperature, if any, which is generated inside this pile, should be exhausted out, for which we have created this pipe structure. If you can see, this is a PVC pipe which has got holes like this. Can you see here? You can see here. So it's gone up to the surface level of the earth. So now this pipe will help in taking out the excess temperature which is built inside to the air, and it also takes the external air in this. So this will become a aeration duct. We have created such aeration ducts all along this bed such that the biomass inside, when it is decomposing, when the temperature increases beyond certain, let us say 120 degree Fahrenheit, 180 degree Fahrenheit, then what happens? Anaerobic will come into picture. We don't want any anaerobic activity here. We want everything to be aerobic. Hence, we have inserted these kind of pipes. We also use these pipes to add some kind of a liquid microbial source like diluted cow urine or activated effective microorganism, AEM. We will going to add this also. Maybe tomorrow we are going to do that. So you can add the microbial inoculation through these pipes, and this also acts like a exhaust ventilation. Friends, as you know, microbes requires shelter and food. What is the food for decomposing microbes? This is the biomass. whatever the biomass we have, this is the food for microbes. There is abundant food available here, but microbes also requires moisture and shelter. Darkness. Who creates darkness? For which we use this. What is this? This is coconut coir waste. We use this coir waste and we have done a layer of mulching. You can see like this we do the mulching. Our box A is mulching is done. Now the box B mulching will start now. So we're going to do this kind of mulching on both the boxes. Benefit of this coir waste mulching on the top surface of this raised bed is A. It will hold the moisture. B. It creates darkness for the microbes to perform. C. It also ensures porosity, aeration, because this is entirely an aerobic based process. Hence, mulching using this coir waste will give us all those benefits. So we are using this mulching without fail. Now, initially we leave this decomposition to normal decomposing microbes which are available on the biomass or on the fully digested manure or the EM liquid or a diluted cow urine. We are going to put it here. Once that is over, let us say about 3 to 4 weeks, this gets partially decomposed. Once this is partially decomposed, then it is ready as a feed for earthworms. So what we will do in the next phase, we will introduce earthworms to these beds. Once we introduce earthworms to these beds, those earthworms takes over and convert this entire mass, whatever we have, into a vermicompost. So it's very easy for us to prepare a vermicompost. Friends, remember there are 2 stages. First, microbial decomposition to create a compost, then feed that compost into earthworms to create what is called vermicompost. What is the difference between a compost and a vermicompost? In the compost, if the plant nutrients are of some ratio, let us say your N, P, K, etc. is of some ratio, once that composted material is fed into the microbe, earthworms as a feed, when the earthworm eats them and create what is called vermicast, that we call it as vermicompost, on the vermicompost, the plant nutrients, base plant nutrients which is there in the compost get triplified. 1:3, 1:4. That means the vermicompost will have much more plant nutrition than the normal compost. To achieve that, we are going to feed the earthworms here. So we are not feeding the earthworms today. We are going to feed them little later. How do we do that? It's very simple. So after a few weeks, once this partial decomposition is done, we create a circular pits like this for approximately half a feet. A pit like we are going to create. On this pit, we are going to pour about 2 liters of cow dung slurry. What is cow dung slurry? Fresh cow dung and the water stir it together. So we make this cow dung slurry and we pour the 2 liters of cow dung slurry here onto this small pit. Onto this cow dung slurry, we will introduce about 50 grams or 100 grams of earthworms. And we do the aerated mulching like this. This we are going to repeat all along this bed in number of places on both the beds. So what will happen, once I introduce the earthworms from outside onto this small area with the cow dung slurry, the earthworms will like that cow dung slurry, they start activated, they start eating faster and their productivity happens, they multiply. Then they identify there is too much of digested compost available here, they start eating that also. That's how we can trigger the growth and the activity of earthworms on this bed. So like this we are going to activate them, introduce them, activate them and help them to perform better. This is how we are going to produce a quality organic manure, which we also called as vermicompost. From any type of biomass available in your farm, you can produce a quality vermicompost or a enriched manure in your farm itself with this much of intervention. So this effort is being done in this Somanhalli farm at Uttaralli Hobali, Bangalore South Taluk, Bangalore district, and we are going to keep updating you this as this progresses. So organic farming is very simple, provided you should learn the scientific ways and means of managing it. Today I hope I have explained you in detail the important aspect of composting, that is aerobic and anaerobic differentiations and difference between a scientifically composted manure and a vermicast or a vermicompost. So hope this information is useful. Stay tuned to our channel and we will continue to share much more progress on this Somanhalli farm in the next episodes. Thank you very much. Signing off, your R Manjunath.